Hi, everyone, and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. And I'm Dave Mariani of AtScale, and we're partnering with CDO Magazine, MIT CDO IQ, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers in a series of interviews. So today I have the pleasure of talking with Ryan Swann, and Ryan is the Chief Data Analytics Officer at Vanguard. So Ryan, welcome to the podcast.
Dave, thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
A lot of people are having trouble, Ryan, with operationalizing data science and AI. And what are some of the things that you guys have done where what you've made good use of that technology in a scalable way?
Oh, no, it's good. It's a great question. And you're absolutely right. Scaling AI in ML, data science, behavioral science, is a challenge for a lot of big organizations, especially those that have processes that predate kind of the move to the cloud. This is really about people, process, and technology. I think that the key to scaling data science and kind of getting data science to really drive value at a large scale is understanding that you have to get it into the business workflow. Let me give you an analogy. The analogy I like to use is if you had to walk 10 blocks to get the mail, and you had, walk, not drive. If you had to walk 10 blocks to get the mail, you may go once a week to the post office. Mm-hmm. But if the mail comes to your front, to the end of your driveway, or into your house through your mail slot at your front door, you check the mail every day, right? And so data science and AI and ML are very similar. You have to bring the findings and the feedback into the workflow, into the daily process. You go, back to the mail analogy, you're going about your day, you walk by the front door, oh, I just grabbed the mail. It's on your way to the kitchen, right? And so it's very similar with data science. And so what you have to do is we're leveraging technology that actually allows us to bring those insights, bring those in the feedback loop, because we don't want to, we want the machine learning continue to learn and not to become stale, into the workflow so that if I'm a financial advisor and I primarily are using a CRM tool like a Salesforce, Microsoft Dynamics, within that environment, I want to be able to access the models and the feedback and help me do my job, because that is where I am. If I have to go to 3 or 4 other websites and log in here and come back here and go back and forth, at scale, it slows that feedback loop down. Yes, some will do it. Some will absolutely do it. But at scale, you want to reduce the friction as much as possible. And there's technologies out now that help you integrate into those workflows as we think about ML ops and data ops. So that's what we're focused on. It's something that is near and dear to my heart as we have great capabilities that we built, that we've written research on, et cetera. But now it's like, okay, we got to scale that. We got to get it into that workflow where the end user can easily access it and provide feedback, so that we can keep the model up to date and prevent it from going stale. So
I love that. So don't make data science a one-off,
That's right.
literally a science experiment, but embedded in the business.
That's right.
And make it part of the everyday. I love that. That's a great way of thinking about operationalizing data science. So I always love to finish out with making you put your future hat on.
No.
So and you can go anywhere you want with this, but when it comes to self-service analytics, when it comes to data science and ML, where do you see things going? Five. I'm not going to say 10 years. That's too far out there. 5 years from now, what kind of trends do you think we should be likely to be seeing in the next 5 years?
Yeah, a couple of areas there. So I think we will continue to see the development and emergence of ensemble models, models built on top of models, models that use other models as data sources. I think they'll continue to get more integrated into our workflows, particularly in areas that that have structured data. But I think 5 years out, even in the unstructured side, you'll start to see a lot of movement in leveraging AI and ML to analyze, understand, and then use unstructured data. From a technology perspective, I think the next 5 years are going to be super interesting from a Web3 perspective. There's metaverse, there's blockchain and distributed ledgers. I think all of those are going to be interesting technologies that may change the way that we do business. But at the end of the day, it's understanding how it's changing that workflow and kind of the data that's kind of coming off of that process that you need to analyze and bring back around to know if you're moving the needle. And so those are areas that we're really excited about. Also, behavioral science. I think behavioral science continues to be an area where you're kind of bringing the psychology, if you will, of how we behave with the technical rigor of data science, AI and ML, and how those things come together, particularly for financial services when you have a market correction like we're going through now. You got high inflation. These things we know how we should respond to them, like from a behavioral perspective. But what do you do when the emotional trigger? You see CNBC and you kind of see the market, and what should you do? Who do you call to kind of talk about and use data and analytics to understand what you should do in those situations. So I really think behavioral science will continue to be will continue to grow. And I also think that cloud computing will continue to get more commoditized. You know what I mean? I think we'll continue down that path. So a lot of exciting things happening in the next 5 years. And so we continue to do research. We continue to partner to find ways to be innovative with our mission here at Vanguard.
I love it, Ryan, because you're at the intersection of people and money, and people obviously care a lot about money. So you've got a great lab for really figuring out ways of using data and analytics and AI to sort of improve outcomes for your customers. So fascinating. Thank you so much, Ryan. This has been a great chat. I hope the listeners really enjoyed it. I want to thank you, Ryan, for joining me today. And for the listeners out there, please visit cdomagazine.tech for additional interviews. So Ryan, thanks so much and have a great day.
Thanks, Dave. Have a great one.